Hello viewers, Super GT here once again. Now, the Saleen S7 is kind of an overlooked car in my perspective anyway. It's one that I haven't really touched upon. Despite really being a very popular car in S-Class, it's one that I seem to have not really used. Now just going to the first corner, Noble M600 goes flying in and, well, I was going to say ruined the lives of about 10 people there, but I'd actually say probably ended the life of about 10 people around the first corner. Just a typical day at Long Beach, really. Viper's just going to move across for no reason there. Okay, so in 7th place, which is a fairly good start from where we started near the back. Straight up beast there in the Lexus, going straight up into the wall. So I'm up into 6th place behind the Formula Mazda into the hairpin at the end of the lap. He's going to go wide into the Viper, push him into the wall. And we're going to make contact there. I think that was kind of six of one and half dozen of the other there. We both kind of moved into each other. Unfortunately for him, he had the smaller car. So I'm away in 4th place into the first corner once again. We have got serial rammers on the case. Here he is again, the Noble. I've gone way too deep into turn 1. I haven't lost a position though, so we can try to carry on. The Noble's going to go for a takeout and he completely missed. Absolute fail. So he's going to have to try again if he wants to really be serious about this ramming game. Now, it was really weird, just, well, not weird really, but so many races on this day that I was recording this just had rammers. And usually I just don't really encounter them too much. But this one seemed to really, you know, have the high percentage and it's really quite annoying. So through the final turn, just behind the Evo, I believe it is, and we have GTR Ted just behind us. So I was part of GTR a while ago, part of F4H now. So here he comes actually. I think he's got good straight line speed in that car. Saleen S7, the tune I'm using by Slappsvela, used to be part of the GFR team. Now he's running solo, it seems. He seems to make very good tunes for many cars in S-Class. Saleen S7 included. Getting a little bit closer to the Evo, just trying to avoid the tyres on the exit there. They do slow you down if you go through them or touch them, annoyingly in my perspective. So you do really want to try to avoid them as much as possible. So into the last section, a little bit wide through the left-hander here. GTR Ted just coming up the inside. We're going to look for the inside line. We've got a very nice narrow line through the hairpin, probably the tightest corner in the game, or one of. And we're just going to pull into slipstream here. Not quite enough straight line speed here. You see Ted there go flying past, and he's going to deploy a lag switch. Look at that. Just unfortunately there, just getting lag at the wrong moment, and I've gone into the back of him and spun around. And we're going to go back down into 7th place. So not good news there. We still have a race on our hands though. Ferrari F50 just up ahead. Can we try to get back past him? So the Saleen S7, very good, solid all-rounder car for this class. You might have seen a Porsche GT, a Carrera GT video I did a while back up against the Saleen around Nürburgring, and despite driving my absolute best in a good car, the Saleen was just that much quicker, and it's just a really good all-round car. Now the Noble here, I'm going to play a little game with him because going into the hairpin he's going to ram me, right? But I'm going to do a nice little bounce off the wall and see that. I mean, I probably didn't actually lose too much time there. So actually using the ram to my advantage. Now 2 more laps passed, nothing else happened. Finished in 7th. We moved to Watkins Glen. This is the kind of track where this car really excels. Contact already, up 2 positions, past the Maserati up the inside. I'm going to swerve slightly to the left here. Audi going to come across as well. And then the Audi's just going to get absolutely punted from behind into turn 1. I got a little bit unlucky there. Viper in the way through the cloud of dust. I'm through in 11th, so I've gained a few positions really at the moment. So not too bad. I have lost plenty of time though to the guys ahead. Through the S's here at Watkins Glen onto the long back straight. Absolutely crucial to get those S's right. So it does lead to a very long straight here. So the Maserati up ahead is going to swerve to the left. I'm going to go to the right. Good straight line speed in the Saleen into the chicane. Now one thing about this car is really planted through the corners, on the exit of the corners especially. You really get the confidence there to put the throttle down and pull away from the guys behind. So we're going to do the shorter NASCAR version here of Watkins Glen. So we're going to go sharp right and then go back towards the end of the circuit. So a fast sweeping left and right here. Now these are the corners where this car really does excel. Now I didn't quite throw it in as early as I would like there. They're actually just going to come back onto the track. I'm going to give him the inside line and maybe go for the cutback on the exit, trying to avoid the curb on the inside because that will slow you down. So now it's a drag race between the two of us. We've got Stradali behind us. I've taken note of him as well. Into turn 1 we've got a nice bundle of cars up ahead which we can try to make our way through. The naughty Corvette just up ahead who punted the Audi R8 on the first corner just in front of us. Now I'll try to go to the right here. He's going to come across to take his normal racing line, so I kind of get hemmed in a little bit. But that's how you follow a car closely without making contact. I'm moving to the inside line. He's going semi-defensive. Is he going to block me or not? No, he's not. He gradually moves over to the left and then just going to slide in ahead. A little bit of a slide through the chicane. But we've got the position up into 7th. And we've still got that group up ahead of 4 cars. And when you've got a group that close together, they are going to be slowing each other down. A couple of them running wide, gaining a little bit of speed there on the exit of that turn. As we come up the back straight now, towards the last 2 turns on the track. You see our brake very late compared to the Porsche up ahead, and this car really good for trail braking. You can really get on the brakes and really just go into the corner as really, you know, as really quick as you like almost. Unconventional overtaking technique on the Porsche, but we're up into 6th place. 3 laps remaining at Watkins Glen into turn number 1. So trail braking really is an important technique that if you really want to get really quick on this game, trail braking is a very important technique. So what you're doing really is you're braking as hard as you can whilst turning into the corner as well. And this guy in the Ferrari, I'm really not sure what he's thinking, but this goes back to what I was saying, just constant ramming, and he's just going to cause so much carnage here through the S's onto the back straight. So annoying because, you know, my philosophy on life in general really is, you know, have fun, enjoy yourself. Like this guy is clearly enjoying himself by ramming everyone else off, but not if it's at the cost of other people's fun, you know. So, okay, this guy's probably having fun, but if it costs the fun of 10 people who are having a good race, you know, don't be a dickhead about it. Just you know, retire from the race, play a different game where ramming's more acceptable. You know, Grand Theft Auto or something. It's just annoying to have these people doing this constantly. But over the line we go, 8th place. Let's try to do a proper race around Watkins Glen, shall we? Let's see how this one goes. This is the full version, so a little bit longer the lap, of course, but less laps, so just 3 laps here. Into the first corner, Honda NSX weighing in on the Mustang. A couple of positions made up there, up into 3rd place. Slappsvela in 1st place, and he's actually using the Saleen S7 as well, and his own tune, so we're both using exactly the same car and the same tune. He's got a nice advantage going already from pole position. Let's see if we can reel in this 4GT in 2nd place. I mean, the 4GT, I've made plenty of videos driving the 4GT with, of course, the Thank You JSR Lee Campbell tunes, and that is one of the most solid cars, it turns out, in this class. I see that used a lot now, the 4GT. If anything, it's the most used car I see in S-Class. So let's see if this Saleen S7 can go about getting past this guy. Coming downhill into the fast, sweeping left, going a little bit deep and then cutting back for a later apex on the power. Nice and early. The camber there really helps you round, and it will do on the next corner as well. The toe of the boot. As we go in, he's gone very deep actually, trying to keep it on the lighter coloured tarmac there, and that's a really good line through that corner. He's going to go actually 2 wheels on the grass, leaving him just about enough space. Going into now the heel of the boot, maybe braking a little bit too late. He's going to potentially cut back on me. I can just see that proximity arrow. Just going to cut across again. I think I've just about got the space. Trail braking into that corner. That's an ideal trail braking corner. So you can see that I was braking while turning in. That's really a good corner for trail braking. And, well, here we go. Bad news. We have a rammer. The nobleman is back. How do we deal with this situation? Well, you just drive past him, obviously. So I think the main strategy there is really just to pretend to go one side and then at the last minute go the other. And eventually we cross the line in 2nd place. Slappsvela there, finishing 1st in his own tune in the same car, a couple of seconds ahead. And we move then to Road America West route, so the shorter version of the Road America track. It's quite a cool little track. It's got a weird corner. I mean, the one with the bumps is a really weird corner. Really not sure how to take it still. It's a really strange one, you'll see in a moment. So on to back straight, maybe lacking in low gear acceleration. As you can see there, dropping a good 100 feet or so to the guys ahead. But I think it makes it up on the way into the corners on the brakes. That's really where this tune and this car is strong. GTR Ted weighing in on Slappsvela in the Maserati, wiping the pair of them out. So I'm up to second place. Now we're up behind ACR Jones. He's driving the Nissan R34 Skyline, also another very good car. Actually, Raceboy and Tax Johnson were using this one in our recent 1-2-3 challenge, and turns out that's a very good car. It's actually one that I should try out because perhaps like this Saleen S7, it's one that I've overlooked and not really used. It's perhaps time that I did use a wider variety of cars. I do often stick to the cars I feel more comfortable with, such as the Carrera GT, the Ford GT, these kind of cars. So perhaps maybe I should put myself out of my comfort zone. Well, I mean, I say that, but these cars are good. I should be able to drive them. It's just something different. Perhaps I should use a little bit something different, you know, a bit of variety to bring you on the channel. I threw the long right-hander, fairly matched with the Skyline up ahead. Now you want to be braking just below the Road America bridge there as we go into the left-hander. Quite an awkward little chicane here, keeping it to the left so we get a better run through. You can see how much time we lose on the exit here. We go a little bit sideways, plenty of tyres just about avoiding them, and you can see again just losing that a crucial 70 feet or so. Obviously that is going to happen when the car ahead is accelerating earlier, so we can see how that rebalances itself into the corner. You can see there how much I just gained on the brakes. So where you're going to lose some time, you should make it up somewhere else instead. So quite clearly in this situation I've got better brakes and he's got better low end acceleration, so you've got to take a note of that and really adapt that into your strategy for overtaking. And I know that if we get side by side into a corner, I've probably got the chance to go past with the better brakes. So probably could go for a lunge here. Not a very good corner to go for lunges, that one. So with the uphill nature of the entry, not good at all. We've got a Brabham now in the way, and he's going to block us both. But it kind of resets now, so we've both gone past him, and the gap kind of goes back to what it was. So not too much trouble there. So first and second still. The race is still on. 5 laps here at the west route of Road America. Now we're going to skip to lap number 4, where we have another incident with the Brabham guy. So you can see here plenty of rammers on show, and I'm just going to kind of push him out of the way there. Go into the lead, so ACR Jones not getting a good run past the rammer. So I'm going to slow down here, make a race of it. So we've got another guy coming through in a Ferrari, I believe it is. Is it the F50? Yes, it is. There it is. So we're going to let Jones go back through. So I mean, I could have easily have just gone ahead there and won the race. That's boring though. I'd rather slow down, make a race of it. And we've got GTR Ted come up behind us. So he was involved in that corner 2 incident on lap 1. And he's managed to reel us back in. Obviously the rammer in the Brabham and making things hard for us. So you can go up the outside of me. Very good move in the Corvette. And I'm just going to run him out as much as I can. Not quite enough though. He's got his nose up ahead. And I have to give him the line there. I have to give him the room. I have to respect that. I think if I was a little bit further ahead, I might have been able to chop across him, but not quite there. And again, just leaving the room on the outside to go through. Just going to try and chop across to try and block him off. And I perhaps steer a little bit too violently there. Just drive myself onto the grass. So through the long right, we seem fairly matched. I've actually driven a little bit wide there. I'm going to give him a bit too much space on the exit. And I've got the inside line now for the left into the chicane and actually braked way too late. So I did brake underneath the banner, but not on the ideal racing line. So just knocking the Ferrari a little bit there. Going to let him off. Just back off the throttle to let him go ahead. Later in the lap number 5, this is the final lap. Coming through here, the Brabham is going to make another appearance. There he is. Now this is going to be another great moment of rammer avoidance. And well, going into this turn, just look behind, and there you go. R.I.P. Rest in pieces, you motherfucking bitch. Apologies for the language, but some people like this do deserve it. And there he goes, rest in pieces in that tyre wall. So he's dead, thankfully. He won't be making another appearance. But I mean, the population of rammers is fairly high these days, so I'm guessing there'll be someone else to take up the perch and ram me in my next video instead. But there we go, another video in the books. I do hope you enjoyed it as always. So do suggest more cars for me to drive, and I'll try to get around to doing that. Do like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you'd like to see more like this. And I shall see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. As always, goodbye.